you can feel it pulling you back and putting you in your seat. What's up, guys? It's Mike. Welcome back to the channel, and if you're new around here, then welcome to the channel. And today we've got a pretty good one. I've been looking at your comments, guys, and just because I don't respond to every single comment, I do read them all. And somebody mentioned that they have the same Jeep as me and they live in Alberta, which is pretty much the same climate as where we live here. And they said that they get double the gas mileage that I get. Now, I don't know how they got that, but they told me that they changed their throttle position sensor and they also changed their O2 sensor. So I will be doing those, but I figured since I have such high mileage, why not go and clean out the engine a little bit? And I'm not talking about clean out the outside of the engine, I mean the inside. So a deep clean, actually getting to the cylinder heads, the interior of the cylinders, and all that good stuff, just the injectors and whatever else is inside that we can get through cleaning it the way that I'm going to do it. I don't want to give out too much, but let's go grab a couple things and we can start doing the cleaning. Now, it is raining today. As you guys can see, it is not that nice, but it is pretty warm for January. It's actually like 10 degrees today, so I think that's about 45 Fahrenheit. So it's pretty nice today, and we have the opportunity, so I'm gonna go out, grab the things that I need, and we can actually clean the engine, because this is something that I can't do inside. I need a good, well-ventilated place. I need to go outside to do it. So lucky enough, it's actually good weather today. So let's go grab what we need and let's start. Yeah, you love the rain, don't you? You just sit around at home all day. She looks pretty good in the rain. Still haven't washed it since I went off-roading, but it's not too bad. The rain did a pretty good job, and I park it outside anyway, so I'm not really too worried. Little bit of dirt left over here, but that's okay. Alright, so I just got to the store, guys, but on a side note, all the wipers work, but I haven't used the rear one too much, and yeah, let me just show you. So yeah, it sounds kind of like a gremlin, and if any of you Jeep guys know what that is, if I need to lube it or if I need a new motor or what that noise could be, let me know, because it's kind of weird. I don't know, it sounds kind of like a gremlin. Like, I don't even know what to say about it. But let's head into the store, let's grab what we need, and then let's get out of here. Got what we need. Let's get out of here. And speaking of gas, it looks like we're getting pretty low right now, so let's go fill up and hopefully we get better mileage on the next tank. Is it just me, or does anyone else have to hold theirs like this on every fill up? 3/4 of a tank is good enough. Now let's get out of here and let's get to cleaning. Alright guys, back in the garage, and let's see, what did I get? Well, I got, if I don't drop it, seafoam. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are very familiar with this stuff, but if you aren't, then I'll give you a quick overview. Basically, what you do is you get this stuff and you run it through your intake, either through the throttle body or through a vacuum line. Now, I will be running this through a vacuum line, and you're supposed to do about half the bottle, and the other half you take and you pour either in the tank and clean out your injectors that way, or I've heard some people, or it even says on the bottle, but I've heard some people pour it in their crankcase and run it like that. I don't want to run it through the crankcase for the simple fact that if all the contaminants and all the dirt and all the stuff are going to start coming off into the oil, I don't want it running through my system, so I'm going to put it maybe in the crankcase on the last couple 100 kilometers before I change the oil. But I don't feel good about leaving this in there for the full duration of my oil change, or my oil change interval, I should say. And the other thing that I got are spark plugs. I did purchase the double platinum So if you guys are changing your spark plugs in your 4 liters, then make sure you guys get the double platinum, because these are very finicky engines. And more important than that, get yourself a feeler gauge. Now this is going to be very important, and it's going to come into play when you go to put these new plugs in. And I've already checked 2 of them. The guy at the store was looking at me kind of funny. He's asking me, why do you need a feeler gauge? He's like, they already come pre-gapped. They're already measured out, spec'd out for your vehicle. And I told him, yeah, but if along the way at all the box got jostled or dropped or anything, then it can change that little bit of play that it has, or a little bit of gap that I should, gap, yeah, that's what I should call it, gap. So if somebody drops the box or jostles the box, it can mess up the gap. And if you guys know, then you know you'll get an engine code on one of these guys. And I don't want an engine code. I don't want to have any issues. I'm trying to make it run better than it's running right now. So I bought the tool. It was $10 for the tool. Honestly, if you guys don't want to spend $10 for a tool, then you don't have any business being underneath the hood of your vehicles. So go out there, spend the money on the tools. Don't be cheap, and do the job the right way. So I got myself a set of 6 spark plugs and the gauge. So my plan is, after I run this through the vehicle and I get everything nice and clean inside, I'm going to need to change the spark plugs, because most of the time I've seen on other videos that people do, the spark plugs get really dirty and sometimes they start to foul and misfire and stuff like that, just because of all the gunk that builds up on them from the cleaning. Because a lot of the stuff on the walls and on the cylinders that just starts to come off and bake off starts to come off, and it can get stuck to different parts like the cylinder, like the spark plugs. Sorry, I don't know why I can't talk today. But once you guys have that, it's not really going to be kind of effective, because it's going to be built up on the spark plugs and they're not going to be doing their job as they should. So it's an easy fix, it's a cheap fix, it's a quick fix. So get yourself some spark plugs, throw them in there, because before you know it, you guys are going to need to change them. So you might as well get ahead of the game and just do it right away. So my plan is to run half a bottle through the intake and run the other half a bottle through the gas tank, because I just filled it. And once I drain that gas tank, or drive through all that gas, that is when we will be changing the spark plugs, because that's when everything is going to be nice and clean. It ran through the system. It's not going to have any more detergents and any more cleaners in the system, in the engine system. And after that, it's going to be good. And I just realized I called it the engine system, the fuel system. I'm sorry. I don't know. Today's just an off day, guys, but let's pull this thing in and let's get started. And the reason I took you guys on that field trip with me was because you're supposed to run this stuff through a warm engine, and I didn't want to drive around for no reason. So I figured, let's go for a ride and let's pick up everything that we need, run some errands, and that way we'll be all good and nice and warm and up to temperature. So as you guys can see, everything is warmed up. We've got 3/4 of a tank, so just enough to fill up half a bottle of that, and it'll be the right mixture. So let's pull her in and let's get started. Now I'm going to be leaving it halfway out so that the exhaust is on the outside, and I'm not going to be collecting as much fumes in here. But at least this way I can be nice and dry and I don't have to be out in the rain, and I'm not going to be sucking any rainwater into the intake while I have that vacuum hose open. So actually for now, let's shut it off and let's get everything prepared. Nice, got my handy dandy shop light right here. Perfect angle. And let's see if it clears. Ooh, just by a hair. I love that feature of the Jeeps. Not a lot of people know, but you can lean it right back on the windshield and it sits there perfect. Gives you nice access to everything underneath the hood. I don't think that's supposed to be like that. It's It's one of my grounds. I guess that's gonna need a regrounding soon. Nice, very nice. More stuff to fix. So looking at everything, I think my best option is to go through this breather right here, because the back one is after the throttle body, and a lot of people just pour it right onto the throttle body. Now, I don't know if I want to do that. We will see how the suction is on this breather here. And okay, so we'll see how the suction is on this, but I think that's going to be where we're going to go through right there. Alright, so I've got a jar here, and I will be pouring the seafoam into this so that I have better access with that tube there. But first, let's start the engine and let's see what the suction is like on this guy right here, because worst comes to worst, I'll just take off the intake and we'll pour it right into the throttle body. So let's start her up and let's see. Tight squeeze. Oh, that's nice. And it's nowhere near strong enough. No, I guess we have to go right through the throttle body. So let's get this intake off and let's get going. Well, that was easy. I don't know if you guys can catch that, but it is pretty dirty in there, especially on that throttle plate. So let's see exactly how nice it gets once we're done. Well, that's half a bottle, and my garage is full of smoke. So let's shut her off and pull her out. Little smoky in here. It's getting a little smoky, just a little. That's how you know it's working. So now we wait 10 minutes for it to heat soak, and then we take it out and burn off all the residue. So let me reattach this and we'll pull it out. And my hood is caught on the garage door cable. Nice. Gotta do one of those maneuvers. And there we go. And all the smoke in here has cleared already. So now let's let it soak for 10 minutes and we'll burn off all of that stuff and we'll see a hell of a lot more smoke. Believe me. So I'm gonna get in it and I'm gonna get it up to speed. I think that's about 2,000 RPMs, and once the smoke stops, then we're gonna go for a drive, because they do say to drive it hard, but I have quite an old engine and quite an old Jeep with high mileage, and I don't want to be beating on it too much, so we're gonna ride it semi-hard. But first we're gonna sit here and rev it until the smoke stops, and then we're gonna pour the stuff, or the rest of the seafoam, into the tank. That way we're not seeing the smoke from that, and then we know we're good to go for a drive. So let's hop in and let's see how much smoke we get. Well, I told you guys it would be quite a bit of smoke, and I wasn't joking. Now, a lot of people will say that that's just the product burning off, and it is partly the product burning off, but I have seen a video of a gentleman take this thing, the exact same car, exact same engine, and he took out the spark plugs, put a camera inside, showed you the condition before, and then ran the seafoam through it, and then did the same thing and showed you the condition after. And it was a world of a difference. So let me tell you guys, it did do a big difference, and the smoking is subsided. It's running good now. It's running quiet, but my stupid self locked the keys inside, and I don't know how I managed to do that, but I came outside to grab the camera after all the smoke was gone, and now it's locked. So I thought about opening up the hood and taking off the negative battery terminal to shut the engine off, but it's not really a big deal for it to run for a little bit. I did call for somebody to come and help me open up doors. Will take them about 20 minutes. So now I have to sit here watching the car run for 20 minutes, feeling stupid. But this is what happens sometimes, guys. Honestly, I don't know. I guess I'm just out of it today, but see you in 20 minutes. Well, in the meantime, I checked all the gaps on all my spark plugs, and not a single one was properly gapped. So it just goes to show you, $10 tool and 5 minutes of your time can save you a lot of headaches later, because you never know. The gap that they put on there could be a universal gap that might work, but you want the optimal gap so that your vehicle runs better, because why are you changing spark plugs? To make it run better, right? So it kind of makes sense to just do it the right way. So don't get cheap, guys. Get yourselves one of these feeler gauges, or however you guys want to do it, but I don't recommend the round gauge, because once you're spinning it through the spark plug, you're kind of rubbing the coating off of the spark plug and defeating the purpose of buying better spark plugs. They told me 20 minutes. It's now been 45 minutes. So hopefully he gets here soon, because I want to go and continue with my day. And I don't want to keep standing here waiting for a tow truck. Oh, I think they're here. Hello? Okay. Sweet, guys. And he is here. So let's head outside and let's get out of here. Oh, there he is.
Have you ever done it?
So quick update, guys. It is now after 3. I called the original tow truck at around 1:30, and the first guy came, couldn't do it, and he left. So it's still sitting there running, and I am still waiting for somebody to come and unlock it. Hopefully the next guy actually knows what he's doing. We'll see how long it takes. But I am waiting inside because it is freezing out there. I can't feel my toes. Well, guys, we got the keys out. Hey, buddy. After 3 hours, finally, we got back into the Jeep. And honestly, the first guy who came was a clown. The second guy who came, it literally took him all of 30 seconds, and he got the door open for me. So now, let's go for the drive that we've been waiting to go for about an hour and a half. Let's go for a drive real quick, and then I'm gonna go take a shower because I am freezing, and after that I need to go get a spare key, because when you buy a Jeep for $2,000, it doesn't always come with a spare key. Who knew you needed one? So I found out the hard way today, guys. Let's go grab a spare key, and yeah, this won't happen again. And it seems to be running pretty smooth. It's idling very steady now. It wasn't idling that great before, but so far so good. I'm happy with the results and can't complain. Now, I would recommend doing this to almost any used vehicle or any high mileage engine that you guys have, because it's something easy to do, something quick, and it'll help your car run that much better for that much longer. And who doesn't want their engine to run better? Yeah, so far so good. Honestly, it's running really good today. I'm glad that I did that cleaning, and I think that after this tank of fuel, once I put the new spark plugs in, it'll run even better. And then we'll see just how much fuel it's burning, because honestly, I hope it starts to burn less because it's been drinking it like a thirsty madman. Honestly, it's been insane. Like, I think I got 275 kilometers out of my last tank, which was 50 liters. So that's not good mileage at all. It honestly feels like it has more pep to it now. Like, if you just press on the throttle a little bit, you can feel it pulling you back and putting you in your seat. So that's a nice change. It didn't do that before, and maybe it'll be a little bit better on fuel. We'll see. Maybe I might just get lucky and I might not have to change my throttle position sensor and my O2 sensor, but only time will tell. So let's keep driving it and we'll see. Take the key this time. Oh man, I don't know how I did it or what came over me, but every time I get in the car, I must have just flipped it like that, because I don't know. Like, honestly, why would I get in and close it? So I must have been getting out and just out of muscle memory giving it one of those, and that's all it takes. Just, you know, so keep an eye on your hands, guys, and if you don't know, then leave your window down or have a spare key like I don't. Well, I already finished pouring the rest in the tank before I went for the drive, and now we are pretty much finished until I finish that tank of gas. Then we can go out and change the spark plugs and see exactly how much of a difference it makes. But until then, guys, I guess I'll catch you in the next one. So thank you for watching, thank you for sticking around this long, and please leave me a like and a comment. And don't forget to subscribe because there's tons more coming your way. So I'll see you guys on the next one. And until then, ride safe out there. Peace.